And we'll go ahead and get started this evening. I'll lead us in the pledge and say this evening's occasion. Just stand up and join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening, for the opportunity to do the work of the City of Goddard. Pray your blessing upon our staff. We're thankful for all the work that was done by Public Works in the streets this week, and keep our citizens safe as they travel in this cold weather and sometimes in slippery snow. Bless this time and give us your guidance and wisdom. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Okay, we have three up here at the dais. We have a quorum. You can't be bashful. I'll entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda. I'll make the motion to approve the agenda. A second.
I second.
Crystal seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, citizen comments. Sounds like the wind. We've seen it, which is fine, I guess. It's cold outside. There isn't anyone here to comment. There is one. Okay, Linda, I'm sorry. Well, sure, that's fine. I sure didn't want to deny you that opportunity.
Linda Giesman, 201 North Pine. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to make comments to you all. And tonight's comment, I wanted to make sure that you and all those who are watching on the internet, I know a couple of people anyway who do watch because they make comments afterwards. Anyway, I've lived here for 31 years now. And I probably have had more contact in the last 6 months than the previous years with city employees. Most of them being under the direction of Brooke. And during this winter season, I had one of his workers knock on my front door and say, I think you may have a leak in your yard. Didn't think it was one of the city's pipes because it ran the wrong direction, he said. I said, okay, and he told me what he thought it might be, and sure enough, we have to pump on our pool cover, and it wasn't ice, it was water, and it was pumping that water off the pool pump, or off the cover, and they noticed it. But the fact that they stopped in their busy day and saw a potential issue that they thought probably wasn't theirs, have to deal with, to let the citizen know. I appreciate that, but they're watching out and looking out for us. And just before that, I had told Brooke about our street sign. The pole was there, but the names were on the ground. Don't know how that happened. But that week he got out there, somebody did, he sent someone out there to put the street sign back up. Now I knew where I lived, but you know, not everybody knows that, so or what streets are on. So I just want to let you know that most of my contact has been with Brooke and his crew, and they were doing a fantastic job taking care of the citizens. And I want to let you know, and it was on the internet, that kudos to them. Thank you.
And we appreciate you bringing that time to our attention. There's a lot around town, and if somebody sees one of those, let us know, and we will fix it immediately if we haven't already seen it. So thank you for letting us know about that.
Anyone else? We'll wait for later. We'll go ahead and close citizen comments then. This time I'd like to give the council a chance to declare any conflicts or communication they might have had to influence their ability to consider today's agenda items impartially. Conflicts, no, I don't have any. Very good, moving on. We don't have any appointments, proclamations, recognitions, or nominations tonight. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Brent seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Unfinished business, none. New business, KDOT Economic Development Grant Contract. City Administrator Craig Crissett, batter up.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, I'm going to try to reset this projector real quick. I don't know if you noticed, but they're a little noisier than usual, so quick pause.
All right. Marvels of technology.
A little quieter.
Yeah.
Let the record show one of our council persons stepped out for a brief moment, so I'll get going as soon as she steps back in.
Very good.
That's what they normally sound like.
Yeah, it's a lot quieter.
No, I don't know.
It really has. It hasn't been the greatest. That was a birthday trip, wasn't it? Yeah. And it's-
Okay, we have the agreement with Kansas Department of Transportation for the Economic Development Grant supporting Goddard Galleria roadway. This is one of those action items that we've had a few iterations in front of you over the last several months. This is kind of where we're at as far as the next step in the process. So KDOT gave notice to the city that we were the recipient of a competitive $2,014,000 grant award to help support the cost for paving and stormwater of the Goddard Galleria Road project. It involves the construction of a new road with asphalt pavement, curb, and gutter sections, pedestrian sidewalks, and of course a storm sewer. There's a few different roads that are part of this, so I'll show you an overhead aerial illustration here. If you see the highlighted orange, that is the road that would be built in support of this grant. KDOT and the City of Goddard would share the financial responsibilities for the roadway, KDOT contributing the $2 million, the city's match to that grant being $200,000. The remaining funds that have to be matched would be financed through special assessments to the lots owned by the developer. The developer has also petitioned the city for special assessment financing to extend the water and sewer service to the adjacent lots. If you remember last fall, late fall, early winter, the city council accepted petitions from the developer to finance the other costs associated with this project. As a part of our agreement with KDOT, it must be let no later than 6 months after July 2025. We intend to start building the road sometime probably early summer. We'll get an update as far as where the design is sometime in the next week or two. I'll bring that to council. The city must verify with KDOT that economic development is occurring in the project area within 6 months of the agreement's effective date. I put in parentheses here that that is already occurring, so we can check that box. The financials here, a little more than we usually put in this section. The petitions for specials were accepted. The paving, storm, sewer, sanitary, sewer, and water distribution improvements totaling $4.57 million will be financed through special assessments within the development area. You can see the distribution of those costs. Each improvement district property owner will be assessed based on a fractional cost distribution model outlined in the petitions and resolutions. So if you looked at the full agenda packet, you see some descriptions of the city's responsible for this, KDOT's responsible for that. What I want to make very clear to the dais and the community that may be watching is that a part of the city's only contribution financially to the $4.57 million is our $200,000 match that coincides with the $2,017,000 grant award from KDOT. All the other funds will be financed by the developer through the petition of the special assessments. We recommend that you approve the agreement with KDOT for the Economic Development Grant supporting the Goddard Galleria roadway project, authorizing the mayor to sign the relevant documentation. So, should you approve this business item, next steps include Harlan's team as well as the developer's team finalizing the engineering design for all the public infrastructure improvements. Then we will advance the TIM note proceedings so we can get the financing, get the money in order. Then once we have the engineering design completed, the project will be let for bid. And again, we hope to be constructing this project hopefully sometime around end of Q2 of this year. And probably take a few months to get it built. But one thing that's nice about this project is there's not a lot of traffic inconvenience because it's on mostly undeveloped property. So that will be nice. There's a lot of other direct and indirect benefits to it as well. I think some of it goes unsaid, but at this point I'd be glad to take any questions from members of the City Council. And this was approved as to form by our legal team.
Comments, questions?
I just think that we did that.
Yeah.
So we can get some more.
I think we're really fortunate, I mentioned this to Craig earlier today, that we have an area within our community that's wide open land that will allow us to develop a very unique and area for commercial development. It fits kind of in with the overall comprehensive plan that was designed years ago. It helps, I think, in the whole process of our water plans and everything. It all just kind of works together. So, and I think, the way the development company, the Dugans, have developed that area so far, they've done a wonderful job of doing that. They had some impact, I would say, in us receiving the grant. They worked really hard to get that too, so we really appreciate their efforts as well, and helping develop more of a retail and commercial core within our community. And what's neat about it, it fits within the plan, and we can grow residences and all our developments around it. So kind of a neat deal, I think. And I'll entertain a motion to approve this so we can keep moving.
I make a motion to approve the agreement with KDOT for economic development grant supporting the Goddard Galleria roadway project, authorizing the mayor to sign all necessary documents to formalize the agreement.
I second it.
Krista makes the motion, Brent seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next batter.
Good evening, everyone. I'm just here to do a brief introduction. So we are going to have a 2024 recap report on the Goddard Senior Center. So I will turn it over to Amanda Treadwell. So she serves not only as on the Goddard Senior Center Advisory Board, she serves as the chairperson. And so I'll turn it over to her. Again, there's no formal action needed tonight. This is just more of a report on the Senior Center's activities in 2024 and some goals for 2025. So with that, I invite Amanda.
Thank you, Ryan.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Are you just?
You can just hit the
Which one? This one?
the right side, yes. There you go.
What's our exercise class? So just really briefly, Karen, 22 we had another day? Yes. 22 in our morning exercise class. So very large class. That's Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So On our report, you'll see this is our kind of a recap and summary of 2024. Our membership increased to 403 members. As of today, we're at 434, so we're rapidly increasing. We had 234 plus who attended one or more activities in 2024. The way that Sedgwick County kind of measures that success is if they attended one or more activities. So we had a lot of seniors that filled out our membership form, but due to health or weather or other reasons weren't able to attend an activity yet. We've seen a huge increase in new members that are attending this year already, so we're excited about that. We added, the more activities that we added, the more membership and the more participation that we had, of course. So we had our first meeting in March, which was our first kind of introduction meeting and kind of survey. And then we just continued with the exercise class and the games that we did. And then in September, August, September timeframe is when we really got into adding the activities and stuff. So you can kind of see that first chart at the very top where you see the senior participation. You can see the jump in August and September and October as we gradually increase those activities. So everything at the top at the participation is the number of activities that we offered. So there was 4,631 senior experiences. So that's how many activities that seniors participated in. And then you also see that down the bottom we have 2024 month over month. So that just shows you our growth, membership growth month over month. And then also our membership trending of our totals. So, any questions on this page? Okay, so this is an example of our February calendar, so you can see it's very packed. We get a lot of jokes of them saying, how are we going to attend all of these? I was like, it's not for you to attend every single thing. With this many members, we like to offer variety, so that way at least our seniors find at least one or two activities a month that they can participate in, because everybody's different. So, and we're adding things in the evening and on the weekend and things like that based on survey results, so that way for those that are still working that can't attend during the day, we can offer that variety for them. So we did, the grant requires certain requirements of how many activities, regular activities that we have to offer, how many special activities we have to offer, and how many educational. We blew all of those out of the water, all of the requirements. So we're performing at a much higher level, which was our anticipation from the beginning. So we did 25 regular activities, so that's anything that happened more than once. So like a weekly, a bi-weekly, a quarterly, a monthly. Anything that is a special one-time, obviously was a one-time activity, and then anything educational was a one-time educational activity. So you can see the number of activities that we offered in 2024. We did add a second location in 2024. I created a partnership with Excel Development that owns Goddard Senior Apartments and Goddard Senior Homes. A lot of the seniors over there in our outreach and door knocking found that they couldn't come to the senior center due to transportation, health, or other means, and so we brought the activities to them. And then that also offered the opportunity for us to have a second location and building that we can utilize, and it's pretty nice. Also, we did collaborate with Genesis Health Club and Sandbox, so we have a partnership with them. I don't like to share it that much because I don't want other people to take it away. But we get to, our seniors get to go to Genesis for no membership and no cost. And we have currently 5 different classes that they can attend. Water walking and some other senior silver sneakers and some other classes that they can attend, which is really great. And then Sandbox, when they came on, we have pickleball every Tuesday. I went to go take care of the pickleball account this last Tuesday. They convinced me to stay, and I learned how to play pickleball too. So it was fun. So we had 6 of us that played pickleball.
And I have pictures, so if you want to see them.
No, Lloyd took
My wife took some videos, some pictures.
We would like to see those.
It is pretty fun. They're on Facebook. So our successes, we had a lot, so I did narrow down to about 3. So our successes in 2024 was getting Meals on Wheels. So that was a huge success. We have an incredible volunteer base that has stepped up to help us with the Meals on Wheels, from deliveries to kitchen work. You know, you name it, they're there to help. So we have done really good at being able to create that volunteer base, and Karen has done a fantastic job of being the boots on the ground for that. And covering that, even delivering meals many times herself. So I just appreciate everybody's help for the Meals on Wheels program. Collaborations, so again, we've been highly successful in collaborating with local businesses, organizations to create win-win partnerships that benefit our seniors. So Excel Development, Genesis and Pickle and Sandbox. And I look forward to hopefully continuing those partnerships because I think that's what allows us to save on our budget is because we're able to build those partnerships, which otherwise is costing other senior centers more money to do. Funding was another success as our growth has exceeded all expectations to over 400 members in 2024. We've reached 234 senior residents and just in the Goddard city limits alone. So of the 239 live in Goddard city limits, but there's over 800 seniors that are in Goddard that are 55 or older. So that tells us that there's another 657 that we haven't reached yet for one reason or another. So that is where our No Senior Alone initiative kind of comes into place so we can kind of reach out to them either through mailings or signs. We have signs that we just made that will go up next week that will let them know that we have a senior center and then and where it's located. And then also where the Easy Place location is because that has been a little bit hard because there's no street signs over there. So those signs will kind of help be able to show people where we're at. And that we're here, and so the funding that we secured in 2025, thanks to our Goddard City Council and staff, will definitely help us to continue our efforts in what we're doing at the Goddard Senior Center. So here's just a chart to show you there was 896 seniors based upon world population in 2024. 216 more seniors will be 55 in the next 5 years. And 384 more will be 55 in the next 10 years. So you'll see that our senior population is only going to continue to grow. So our 2025 goals are our advisory board, which yay, we've already accomplished that and have that in place. We're in the process of finalizing our bylaws. Hire a part-time director. That application is out and Ryan updated so we have about 7 applicants. We will review those and make sure that we find somebody really good to take that place. Keep things going. Our No Senior Alone initiative, which is just around making sure that our seniors feel like they're not alone, that they have a place to go, they have resources available for them, but making sure that we're doing a lot of outreach for that. So one of our senior citizen board members will be heading that up and making sure that we're really focused on the No Senior Alone initiative. Continuing our fundraiser, so starting March 1st, the first Saturday of every month, we'll have a bingo. Thanks to the Goddard Lions Club and other partnerships that we have, we'll be having a bingo game the first Saturday of every month, and all of those proceeds will go towards fundraising. And that fundraising will specifically support the next one, which is our Goddard Go transportation effort, along with hopefully the grant that we will win. So that's a big one to be able to help with our transportation needs in Goddard. So with that, I'm open for questions.
No questions, but I'm super proud of our senior community and for you for taking it on, you and Karen. So I just appreciate that you all are showing up and advocating for yourselves, and it's really cool. Thank you.
And in addition to that, Ryan, I appreciate your work and efforts with them. And I mean, the devil's in the detail and doing that fun stuff like bylaws and all that stuff. Who likes to do that? But it's a necessary component of getting this thing off the ground. And I could tell several stories, and you know I love to tell stories. But I'm not going to do that this evening other than to say that the connectivity within our community continues to expand. People from outside the area signing up for things. I mean, the meals, the contacts with people that are shut in. It's been a great addition to our community, and thank you both for that, Ryan, and the board, and anybody else that has volunteered to haul somebody someplace or deliver a meal. There's a lot of people that have helped in the community, and that's what it takes. It's a community effort. So full steam ahead.
This is pretty impressive.
I just wonder if you can pack anything else on a calendar.
I'm like having to zoom in on that.
We did a really cool charcuterie board class. We worked with Heart Country Catering and did a charcuterie board class that was really great and popular. So we're doing a lot of different unique things as well as education, weight loss classes, different things like that. So, and we've got a lot more planned, so it's exciting. But it does take a lot of work, and it would not be possible without Karen and all of our volunteers and such a supportive city council and staff. And I think the biggest thing is we're really working towards collaboratively sustainability. So just making sure whatever we do is sustainable, so whether, you know, no matter who's in place, that it's going to continue and continue to grow, because our senior population is not going anywhere. So it's going to continue to grow, and there's a lot more things that we can do and help with. So trying to pace ourselves on one thing at a time, but we've got big plans.
What's Silver Sneakers?
Silver Sneakers is an exercise class, so it's like a middle mile range exercise class. You use some weights, you use like a ball. Oops.
That's what that picture is? And
In the first one?
yeah.
The first one is the regular exercise class that Karen leads, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You're welcome to come.
Yeah, I need it. No.
I've showed up.
We have different entry, we have different entry classes, which is great. Yeah, different entry level classes, and then you can go to Genesis and step up to some more of the classes.
Right next door.
That's on Wednesday. I'll be getting a workout on Wednesday. Don't worry.
And if you guys ever want to check out what's happening and all the fun, you can go to Goddard Senior Connection. That's our Facebook page, and that's where we share all the fun that we have and the videos and all of that stuff. So it's exciting. So thanks again for all your help.
And the other thing is, you know, Genesis, Sandbox, you know, the other people in the community that have volunteered services time. I mean, it just enriches the whole program, and I'm really appreciative of those efforts as well. I don't want to exclude anybody in that.
Yeah, I mean, none of this would have been possible without all the collaborations and all the volunteers that really made this happen. And we've really impressed Sedgwick County and everybody in those departments, and every time they come, we blow those audits out of the water. So
Charge ahead.
yes, thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Good evening again. All right, I am here to introduce Dan Funke. He is the treasurer with Goddard Lions Club. He's going to make a brief presentation on their donation request for 2025. Just as a reminder to the council is that for the 2025 budget, the city did allocate $13,500 for sponsorship out of the public sponsorship fund for the Lions Club. So again, once Dan given his presentation, this will be the recommendation to approve the Lion Club's request for 2025 for $13,500. And with that, I will turn it over to Mr. Funke. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to dazzle you with what Amanda did last year. She did a fantastic job. And I have done that by teaching all my life. And after those 44 years, I decided, no, I'm going to be practical tonight. So I brought some things here, but the request I'm going to talk to you about after I get done with this. I want to show you one of our signature projects that we do that serves last year 371 children in the Goddard School District, a majority of those in Goddard. And I wanted to let you see, this is what this mitten here is what hangs on a tree at Pizza Hut and Walmart and the library. And people pick these up and they fill them up with as much stuff as they can, because this gives all the information. The parents type this in and we check it over, and we even call them if we think the sizes are wrong, and then it tells us what the child needs. Now our goal is to give 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of shirts, socks, underwear, toys, a coat if they need it, or a jacket, and anything else they need. So this one was brought back, and I bring it back in this white sack. And this is what we got back for this person. And I just made one up so you can see. He got a shirt, he got 2 shirts. He got 1 pair of pants, 1 pair of pants, and a jacket. No toys. So what happens then? Well, we have a group of fine citizens of the community, including Lions Club members and other people, who go out with donations that we've collected through the bank, and we spend about $15,000 finishing up these bags so that every child has all that stuff that we just talked about. So this is a completed bag. I'm not going to pull it all out, but they turn out, and we have an inventory system. We have to have almost 200 volunteers just to do this part. When the bag is completed like this, it's put under the table. And then they know that that one's finished and been inventoried and everything, and is ready to hand out. How would you like to go through 371 of these in 4 days and go shopping? One of the best stories I ever had was Annette Singletary. She went to Target one time and picked up 300 pairs of underwear. And she came up and unloaded it, and the clerk says, "What are you doing with all this underwear?" He says, "We only use it once." So, you know, it's a great story. It's fun. It's interesting. But that's one of the signature projects that Lions Clubs tries to do, along with all the other 23 projects that I talked to you about in the thing I brought to you. We want to do for the city the Easter egg hunt, the 4th of July celebration, and the Thanksgiving feast. You know groceries have gone up tremendously, including eggs that I put in my stuffing. Might be having to donate those this year. But anyway, we've moved a little bit of money around. We're going to spend a little bit more on Easter eggs because we didn't have enough Easter eggs last year. And we're going to shift some of the money that we had in fireworks to some other things. Now, our club is not doing a fireworks stand this year. We lost money last year. We had to lose it. We just didn't make anything. And number one, location, but number two was the big sales that they had in Wichita. We just can't buy them, no matter how. People look at those signs and they say, "Oh, you can buy everything here." Well, that didn't work for us. And so our distributor was going to retire, and I said, "You know, this is a good year to retire. I've done it for 23 years, and nobody else in the club wants to do it, so it's done." So we make our money off of not only the donations from you, but our car show, which you have in front of you, and our pancake feeds that we do during the year, and other small things that we do for people to take care of. So, is there another slide for this? Okay. Do you have that one sheet that shows how much?
It's in their agenda packet.
It is in their agenda packet. So you can see that is the thing that we had. Is there any questions for anyone who has anything they have to discuss?
The pancake feed, can you get them to go?
Yeah, what?
Can you get them to go?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, I give out, I ordered today 150 to-go boxes just for you. Well, I figured you needed a few.
I just figured I got my guys that are working on Saturday and can pick some up on the way to work.
We have biscuits and gravy or pancakes, or a combination of both.
There we go.
Okay?
Okay.
And I'll even send you a big bottle of syrup.
Okay.
All right?
Perfect.
What time are you coming?
5, 7. I'll be here at 7.
7? Okay.
Well,
Sounds good. We'll have it ready for you.
7. 7 total.
7 total at 7?
Yeah.
Okay. 7 at 7.
I'm gonna write it down, I'll write it down.
No, I don't think you need to read it. I can remember 7 after.
All right.
I haven't got that feeble yet. Although my wife thinks sometimes, you know.
I have no opinion on that.
Any other questions? We truly appreciate the help that the Lions Club, the city has given the Lions Club for doing these projects. We think there are community projects that need to be done, but it takes a lot of people power to get it done. It's just not 1 or 2 people. It's like 15 or 20 or 30 people that take care of some of these things.
Now, the relationship between the city and the Lions Club has a tremendous history in the city of Goddard. And, I think as long as I've lived here, 27 years, there's always been these activities and events for families, and it enhances the quality of life for all of our community. And on behalf of the city, I want to thank the Lions Club for all your efforts, and we'll continue to support your efforts and making the Goddard kind of place we want it to be.
Thank you very much.
With that, I'll make a motion to approve the request for 13.5.
Second.
I've made the motion, Krista seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now, every one of you is gonna have to cook a ham for Thanksgiving.
You better check with my wife before you ask me to cook it.
Well, then I'll ask your son.
Now, probably a better chance with him too. All right, Rick, you're up.
This isn't as fun as the senior center or Lions Club pancake feast.
Everybody loves salt.
So what I'm asking for here is to look at and approve a new salt sand structure for Public Works. At the December 2nd, 2024 meeting, council approved advertising for bids for new salt sand storage facility. Public Works uses that road salt as one of several tools to clear ice and snow from the roadways. And as you've noticed, we've been doing that a lot lately. 45's been busy for us. To ensure its effectiveness and environmental safety, road salt is purchased in bulk before winter and stored in a structure that protects the salt from water damage and prevents it from leaching into the soil. The current structure is over 15 years old. It's in pretty bad condition. It's got walls that, it basically was built by an old Public Works employee. It's got stacked concrete block walls and an old wood rafter roof that's leaky. You know, everything's settled and moved around, and it's quite frankly, it's too small. We have to order enough salt now that it hangs out the ends, and we lose some of our product to weather, and it leaches in the soil and flows down, and that's not a good thing to have that salt, you know, contaminating that soil. So this is a picture of that building. As I said, it's old and rickety, and we can't keep all of our salt in it anymore. So we solicited bids for the construction of a new 52-foot wide by 60-foot long building featuring a soft top on metal frame. It will have durable cement walls and an asphalt floor. We'll see that here in a second, Exhibit 8. The facility will have a capacity to store approximately 200 tons of road salt, and will be built big enough, and it's the type of facility that should serve our needs for the next 20 years. I mean, it does have the building we chose does have a 20-year warranty on the soft cover roof and all those components. The facility will be located on a portion of city-owned farmland situated north of the Public Works yard and wastewater treatment plant, and we'll see that here showing Exhibit B. This is the old slide. I had a new slide we updated, and then it was with the change of the meeting, it must not have gotten here. This is similar to what we're doing. The one we would do will be actually a lot nicer. We'll have an asphalt floor and it'll have a concrete pad out front, but it will have cement walls and a soft top on a stainless steel frame like that one. The proposed location, if you'll remember, is the city-owned farmland just north of the Public Works facilities down here. Then there's the Evergy transfer station, and then what we're going to do is we're going to build a 22-foot wide road, and a 200 by 300 basically have that packed and compacted and gravel and whatnot put on it, so we have a nice place to put that. That would get it back off the road. It will put it in an elevation to where water won't be flowing into it, and it won't damage the salt and flow out and cause a environmental issue. Some of the bids we received two bids. We reached out to 4. We had 2 bid. Greystone Construction was $182,000. Greenfield was $176,000. And then for the dirt work for the road and pad, we received 3 bids. The asterisk you'll see beside these denotes the low bid, and those are the ones that we have chosen. And then to get electric over to the facility, this facility will have LED lights inside of it, so we can pull the trucks in this busy snow at night and load them under light. And so we have to run electric to it from our existing electric pole, and that's $26,000. The total cost to construct the salt storage structure is $263,730.03. During the January goal setting workshop, the project was budgeted at $270. To account for potential unforeseen expenses, which we are hoping we don't have, we're going to try very hard not to have any of those. We've added a 15% contingency, and that brings the total request to $303,289.53. We don't expect to we're hoping not to utilize any of that contingency, and we definitely should not have to use all of it, if any. If approved, the cost will be allocated towards the capital improvement fund. Any questions?
Mayor, could I tack on a comment or two?
Please.
So this item that Brooks worked diligently put together is it's a carryover from previous year's goals. It was authorized to be on 2025 year goals. And one of the things that he had mentioned in his report is, we're hoping to get 20-year lifespan out of this building. Of course, we'll get more than that probably, but I want to try to make a better habit from my seat to not to patronize the council or the community, but just to remind them that what we say oftentimes in city government is that we're trying to make decisions for the future. I mean, everything we do really involves that. But I want to make sure that we consider that our future, if it stays at the rate it is now, is for a community that by 2050 is going to be 150% of its current size. We're growing at an annualized rate of 6% per year. So when we start bringing you guys capital projects, I think it could be easy. I see it as a leader. When department heads or other staff bring things to me, my first impression is, wow, that's pretty big. We need to dial that back a bit. And then I remember we're making decisions for the next 20 or 30 years in a community that's slated to grow 150% over that time frame. So as we start bringing you these capital project items, and you see the size of them, whether it's a salt building, we're building other new public facilities, we're buying equipment, fleet, I just kind of want you to keep that in the back of your mind that what our future or 20, 30 year outlook is very different than what a lot of our peer communities or other cities are going to be considering. So sorry to add my 2 cents, but I'm just going to try to start making a better habit of that. Just to remind you guys, kind of what our trajectory looks like, keeping that context front of mind when we're making these big capital decisions.
And to tack on what Craig said, yes, this is a significant bit. There's the photo. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate that. There's a photo of a greenfield building. The difference between ours and theirs is we will not have the front on it. To meet our budget, that's a $24,000 expense to put that front, and to meet our budget, we chose to leave that off. In the future, if we choose, we can have that retrofitted onto the building. So, and we did go large with this building for several reasons. One reason is if the weather hits the salt, it corrodes it, and that's money we wasted. And right now, we're currently wasting money when that salt.
That's how big it is. What is that?
That's a larger. That's I believe a 120. That's a 60 by 120. So that's longer than ours. I could not find an adequate photo representation of the 53 by 60 that we're having to do.
So ours is about half that long.
About half that long and almost that wide. So it'll be about half that long and almost that wide. But if we put that salt far enough back in there that it will not get wet and be wasted from year to year. We unfortunately we're wasting salt. And I mentioned the environmental aspect earlier. We have been mentioned several times on our annual inspection by KDHE when they see that salt that leaches out of that and flows down into the groundwater that we are living on borrowed time before we have to replace it.
Yeah, and then when it gets wet, it gets hard, right?
Yes, it gets hard, turns into chunks, and it's wasted.
Right.
And so, and unfortunately, we have wasted some salt in the last few years because the building is it's leaky and it's just not adequate size for our needs. And we did want something that was big enough to grow into, and in the interim, like I said before, we can pull the trucks in. When it's snowing hard and it's 3 in the morning, you've been out pushing snow for 3 or 4 or 5 hours, and you've got to get the backhoe out, you've got to load a hop, you've got to load a spreader in the dark. It's difficult. It's difficult. So we wanted some adequate light for safety and just for so that people could work in a decent work environment.
One last comment, Mayor, if I will. We'll be discussing the 10-year capital improvement program at the end of Q1, early Q2, and that contemplates new public facilities that'll also be on the same acreage, and the positioning of this salt storage facility has been made with consideration of the location of those other facilities as well.
Yeah, we tried to go back. Like I said, we tried to push this back. It's on the very south edge of that property, so it does not impact the property significantly. And we tried to push it all the way back for many reasons. One, you don't want that right against the road. You don't want the citizens seeing it. And if we were to want to do any kind of structure in the city in this area, we don't want the salt structure in front of that. If there are no additional questions or comments, I'm asking the city council to approve the construction of a salt storage structure for an amount not to exceed $303,289.53.
I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the construction of the salt structure for 303,289.53.
A second.
Laura makes a motion, Krista seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you,
Thank you,
council.
sir. Good evening, Mr. Micah.
Good evening. Honorable Mayor and City Council, this is item I-5. This is the bid award for 167th West addition to Nowak Construction. The final plat for 167th West addition was approved on February 20th of 2024. The petitions for improvements were approved on August 5th of 2024 with the following resolutions: 24-30, 24-32, and 24-33. Resolution 24-31 was for the street improvement, which will be bid later. Bids were opened on February 6th of 2025, Thursday, and after the bids were tabulated, the low bidder was determined to be Nowak Construction. Total bid amount came in over the engineer's estimate, meaning we will have to re-petition for the difference. And City Council is approving the bid to Nowak Construction for the sanitary sewer improvements, water line improvements, and stormwater improvements of 167th West Addition. The phase is about 69 blocks, generally speaking. The low bid amount is $3,171,449. The low bidder is Nowak. It is over the engineer's estimate, as mentioned. That means we'll have to re-petition for the difference to cover those costs. The bond attorney will present the re-petition agenda item on March 3rd. So the bids summarized are below, and you have the full bid tab in your agenda packet, so you can actually see the breakdowns. It's fun to kind of look at those and see what costs are for linear pipe and everything else. This is an old slide I presented back in the day, and this is the 167th development. It goes all the way from here down to the trail and just slightly past the trail on 167-54. It's got R4 high density over here, R1 over here, and R4 down here. This is going to be about 8 duplexes. These are going to be, or twin homes, they'll probably split them. And these, actually I think they're going to keep those as duplexes, but these ones are going to be single family traditional, and these ones are also going to be single family, but they're going to look a little bit different than what you've seen before. They're more shotgun style. So they're going to be a new type of housing in that particular area, which would be interesting to see how the market absorbs that, which would be interesting. All costs associated with the project will be charged to temporary notes, legally approved as a form. It is recommended the City Council award the bid to Nowak Construction and approve the city and the mayor to execute any related documents for the project. Voice vote. Open any questions?
Nope, we've already been through this.
Harlan, I know it just looked like there was maybe one light item. The sanitary sewer pipe, there's some differential there. It seemed like all the other items down the bid sheet were all pretty close, so it's kind of maybe the one thing that was a little out of line, but.
Yeah, no, I think, and Bachman actually said that they had actually maybe underestimated the quantity of sanitary sewer, I believe it was. I believe that was the primary item. Yeah.
Zero cost fluctuating.
Yeah, sure. I'll entertain a motion to approve this.
I make a motion to award bid to Nowak Construction and approve the city and the mayor to execute any related documents for the project.
I'll second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The administrator's report. Next up on the agenda, OJ.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, it is my pleasure to provide you with a brief update on city operations, projects, and future agenda items. Next council meeting is Monday, March 3rd. Be also sure to remember we have the council retreat all day, both Monday and Tuesday of next week. On the winter weather event, I just want to extend my deepest gratitude to our dedicated public works employees and police officers for their hard work and commitment during the recent winter weather. Our public works team worked tirelessly during odd hours of the night and early morning in the tough conditions to ensure safe travel and keep essential services running.
Despite these challenging conditions, their dedication to our community is not going unnoticed, and we are truly grateful for their efforts. Likewise, our police officers brave the elements to keep our residents safe, respond to emergencies, and aid wherever needed. Their unwavering commitment to protecting and serving our city, no matter the weather, is commendable. I want to thank you guys. Really do appreciate it. Mural grant submittal. So this is a carryover from last year. The city staff, in collaboration with the Main Street Ad Hoc Committee, as we've likened them, are preparing a grant application to the state of Kansas for funding a mural on the south wall of Street Lockers. The design was chosen through a 2024 community engagement process. The project is funded through a 50-50 grant, $4,000 state of Kansas, $4,000 city of Goddard, totaling $8,000. The wayfinding and monument sign project, you may have noticed some of the bases have been poured. The remaining 4 concrete foundations for the 10 smaller wayfinding signs will be poured next week, with installation scheduled for early March. The 4 larger wayfinding signs along Kellogg have received KDOT approval, allowing foundational work to proceed. For the monument sign at Maple and 167th, staff had been coordinating with the county as they pursued additional right-of-way for the Maple Street expansion. However, with that project now on hold, we are working with SMH Consultants to secure a permanent easement from the private property owner. For the monument sign at Kellogg and 167th, we are collaborating with the property owner and our sign contractor to obtain KDOT permit approval. So finally got to the point on that Kellogg one where we can submit our application to KDOT. We were kind of working through some of the bureaucratic tape, so to speak, over the last several months. So Goddard Police Department fleet purchase. An upcoming agenda item will include a request from Chief Beagley for authorization to acquire 2 vehicles. In total, the department will acquire 2 new vehicles, retain 1, and sell or trade 3. New website soft launched. The 167th speed limit traffic and engineering investigation. Trans Systems updated us today. Said, hey, sorry, we should have this done a while ago. We kind of dropped the ball on it, but they should have the final report submitted to us soon. Linear Park Playground Edition. The playground equipment has been delivered. Contractors will be out next week to install the play equipment, and the poured in place surfacing won't be installed until the temperatures allow for that. So hopefully, we can get some good weather and they can get those in. The update on the 183rd turn lanes project. So 9 of 90 working days have been completed, with 81 remaining. The project was shut down due to snow and frozen subgrade this week. Traffic control remains in place, with additional Type 3 barricades added north of the Holy Spirit Catholic Church to prevent cut-through traffic. Pavement removals are complete except near the church, and Southside Rock Base has been compacted with concrete form set and covered with blankets for snow protection. The cold weather concrete plan is in place, including the use of hot water and heated aggregate if temperatures fall below freezing. Concrete will not be placed when temperatures are below 20 degrees or on frozen ground, and blankets will be used to cover concrete for 7 days when temperatures drop below 40 degrees during curing. Temperature monitoring will occur before and during pours. Work will resume when conditions allow, with the general contractor, the prime, Prado Construction, returning to the site. Ad Hoc Water Committee, the next meeting will be February 24th at 7 p.m., location City Hall. The agenda includes presentations from Kansas Department of Health and Environment, Kansas Municipal Utilities, Wichita State University Environmental Finance Center, and the Public Works Department will complete a water testing demonstration. Another reminder about the City Council retreat. 1st and 3rd Street reconstruction. This is a part of the $5 million 5-year roadway reconstruction program. We intend to request authorization from the council to begin advertising the request for bids. We'll bring that to you on March 3rd. Harlan is very close to finalizing the design and engineering. We hope to complete the bid letting in March or April. We are also going to be requesting purchase authority to acquire parts for water main replacement. There's a transite water main that runs underneath pretty much the entire stretch of 3rd Street, and it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to put a brand new road on top of a water main that is reaching the end of its useful life. And then there's a small stretch of sewer main that has an issue that we want to address too. So we're going to try to tackle the water main in-house. The sewer main, we're still kind of working through the kinks there. We may contract that out. It's undetermined at this time. Upcoming agenda items. We've got the fiscal year 2026 budget calendar presentation. My colleague Chief Financial Officer Brooke Carroll will be bringing that to you guys on the 3rd. Master fee schedule resolution, we're looking to tweak a couple of our fees related to the building permits, authorizing the advertising for not only the 1st and 3rd Street that are in the 5 and 5, but also the regular street maintenance, the crack filling, seam sealing, mill and overlays. Maybe we'll do some slurry sealing, not sure about that, but those maintenance projects will be coming to you as well. I mentioned the 3rd Street water and sewer mains. The Means Park drainage project. So Harlan and Brooke have been hard at work kind of value engineering that project into what we consider a more appropriate budgetary figure. Harlan's got a really good preliminary concept that he's put together. He's working on getting a couple of last estimates in for some of the work that's going to be entailed with that. And so on March 3rd, we're going to be coming to you guys with a fully baked plan and requesting purchase authority. And we're going to do our darndest to get this project done before pool season opens, as we had ensured the council that we would. So be on the lookout for that. Overland Property Group Development Agreement and IRB Intent Resolution. We'll be bringing that to you on the 3rd. Micah mentioned the petitions for the 167th Street overage. We are also going to be bringing we're going to be requesting authorization to advertise the North Park Architectural and Engineering request for qualification. So what we did last year was the conceptual design community engagement process. We have a fully baked conceptual design. The experts would say that it's 30% to full design with where it's at right now. This next step would get us to 100% design. So we have basically everything we need buttoned up to send out to contractors to consider bidding on the project. We're still kind of toiling with the exact construction delivery method we would like to utilize for that project. We're also still, we also still are aware that we need to kind of work that in the 10-year CIP discussion, which we intend to have at the end of March, early April. But at any rate, if we intend to begin building the North Park sometime by the end of this year, we need to make some decisions pretty quick, because these things take some time to plan and the days go by fast. So be on the lookout for that. I scribbled a couple extra things in here. I really want to extend sincere gratitude to Mr. Funky and Ms. Treadwell and the others, civic groups that are here. Our local government tries to be in as many places we can be at once to provide all the services that we can, but there are so many gaps and cracks and things that fall through and things that we cannot provide, and that's where these groups step in and make a tremendous impact. It's been really fun to be a very, very small part of working with them to see that impact. So I'm not really sure what's in your DNA or what your diet is to enable you to work the hours that you do to provide these services. I don't know that I ever will understand, but thank you guys. I am deeply appreciative of what it is you do. I also want to mention, there's a lot of sickness going on in our community in the region right now, whether it's influenza A, B, COVID, pneumonia, all those types of things. My family is praying for those that are dealing with those things. It's ran through our staff. I've heard from a lot of our citizens that are dealing with that stuff right now. So we're praying for you guys. And then, Mayor, I hope you don't mind me departing from decorum. I want to give a special shout out to my grandma Joy, who is a city council member with Cottonwood, Arizona. She just flew in from Arizona, where I'm sure the weather was really nice and warm, and landed here at the ICT National Airport this afternoon. So I hope she's watching, and hi, Grandma Joy. Thank you for your service to your community.
She did have on 5 layers of sweaters and things, because I don't think she really understood. And she said she grew up in Illinois, but I don't think she realized what 5-degree temperatures were going to be like when she landed here today. So very nice. She gives me hope with her age and public service, so I might be able to make it another year or two. So.
Thank you. Any questions for me, guys? Thank you.
Thank you. Comments? Anything you want to say? I've got a couple things. Try to keep it short.
Go ahead.
One of the things in some of our training, the first module talks about decision making, and one of those things is considering who's affected. I was in looked at the plat approval for the apartments, and
Couple things I think we need to consider is putting a locked gate where Craig Street abuts up to the parking area. That way at least there's public access for emergencies, since there's one way in and one way out. I'm not sure adding an additional traffic into that subdivision with one access point is probably a good idea. The other thing is that they're proposing to put a vinyl fence around a portion of the apartments, and I think that vinyl fence should be extended completely around the paid addition to go all the way east, and then on the south side, and then to go back to the north on the east side. That would create a nice vinyl fence for the neighborhood there, so it creates a bit of separation between the apartments, the ball fields, and the other things that are being built, other sandbox and in the apartments. I think I'd like to maybe put that on the agenda for the March 3rd, I guess, if that's agreeable to you guys.
Oh, a fence between that neighborhood
Yeah.
and what's going, yeah.
And then the other thing would be, we considered considering third-party inspections for code violations. I think there's been a little progress made on that. I think we have the ability to maybe have a negotiated price, reduce that price a little bit, let's maybe change the hours and reduce the overall cost. I think conceptually having all that taken care of and through court instead of us having to handle it is still good. But I'd like to kind of bring that back to the council agenda in March too, see what we've come up with in terms of reducing the cost and maybe a little better idea of the hours and what we can get done. So I'd like to take another look at that, if you guys don't mind adding that to the agenda.
For the next meeting.
Yeah, next meeting. Yeah. I want to do it now.
Okay.
You guys okay with that?
From, on what we just talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. At a reduced rate and change of hours.
I'm still where I'm at on that subject.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
What say ye? Not gonna hurt my feelings, right?
Same.
Okay.
Maybe I could frame it in a different way.
Sure.
And we will not be offended if the answer is the same. We got to do something about code enforcement. So what if we brought to you guys a couple of additional pieces of information that would coincide maybe with a amended or reduced fee and services with the privatization option. So I just want you guys to, I want to spend some time maybe educating and informing more about the code enforcement process, what all it entails, the actual cost of hiring somebody to do that at a city staff level. I want to bring you maybe 2 or 3 options, including the privatization one at a lower rate, after maybe we provide you with more information. If you guys don't want to do that, that's fine. We will continue to operate as we are, which basically it's kind of the last thing on the list. When we can get to it, we get to it. But code enforcement is blocking and tackling. This is a core function of municipal service. So at some level we need to maybe consider evolving from our current practice so we can be better and make sure we're delivering that service.
Maybe you need to start looking on implementing that as, since we have that nice app to enter that code enforcement in that app, taking those pictures like in Wichita does, and we've already asked about it.
We'll definitely do that. We are fully set up to report a concern for code enforcement on that app, 100%.
Okay, I'm good. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, we're good. Anything else?
Just for staff clarification, Mayor Lieb, I want to make sure our marching orders are clear and concise. You would like us, the consensus amongst the council is that you would like us to bring an agenda item on March 3rd to consider adding a emergency access gate on the private road to Craig Street, as well as screening requirements between the entire property line of the Goddard Apartments project that's shared with Paid Edition as well as the Lancaster property.
Right, in addition, and then on the east side along the apartment line, or
Yes.
along the hotel line.
So we can only address what's associated with the current site plan for what hasn't been developed yet.
Alright.
And I believe that property line gets pretty close to where you're trying to go. So and we can look at
And
that
the
more
trees
during the
would be in
week.
way, right?
Well, it would be on the private property side that is owned by
We'd have to take the trees
Goddard
down.
Apartments.
Wouldn't have to take the trees down.
No. It would be on Goddard Apartments property line, kind of near the trees. Is that what the direction
That's
on
my,
that
that's
item?
my intent, yes.
Okay, so I'll set that one aside. On code enforcement, do nothing, leave as is, continue onward as we're currently doing.
Correct. And
Okay.
we'll continue to mull this over and figure out how it's gonna look. But I do wanna go ahead and be sure that we start running that through court.
We are, yes.
Process.
Our city attorney, we have our bi-weekly legal meeting, and he informed us yesterday that he's made great progress on that, and we should probably have something to council, I'd say, within the next few meetings.
Okay, very good. Appreciate that. Got a couple executive sessions coming up.
Mayor, if I could interrupt one more time.
Please, go ahead.
I want to call our city attorney and enter it into the record that he's going to be joining us before we enter executive session.
Probably a good idea since it says we're going to consult.
Brian,
our attorney.
this is Craig. I'm going to put you on speakerphone now. If you could just announce your name and your official title with the city, we're going to enter into the public record that you've joined us.
Very good. Ryan Peck, City Attorney.
Thank you. I'll make a motion that we go into executive session to consult with our attorney per KSA 2015 supplemental 75-4319B2 for how much time do you think?
15 minutes. There you go.
We'll do a 5-minute break and then 15 minutes on that. So we will reconvene at 8:30. Give or take a minute. You have a second on that motion? Just a second, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Let the record show I still have City Attorney Ryan Peck on the cell phone. Isn't that correct, Mr. Peck?
Yes.
Okay, he's still here. We've come out of executive session and there was no action taken, so I'll let the record reflect that. Then I'll make another motion to basically do the same thing on a different topic, but I move that we enter executive session to consult with the governing body attorney per KSA 2015 supplement 75-4319B2. And this should take probably another 15 minutes, so we'll be back at 8:45. We'll take a 2-minute recess to get around.
Okay.
Have a second on that?
Second.
Brent seconds, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, we're in executive session.
Oh, yeah.
second here.
Well,
Let the record show our city attorney Ryan Peck is still on the line.
okay, we're back. There was no action taken. That's all we have for tonight. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
To make motion.
Chris makes a motion to adjourn. We're in seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Ryan. Have a
Go to the meeting. Thank you very much, everyone.
Have a good one.